I bought two products with one job: keep my truck's dash cooler under the direct sun. One had thousands of positive reviews, promising up to a 40-degree drop between the outside ambient temperature. The other was a dash mat, meant to protect against sun damage. I tested both against an old Walmart sunshade I had laying around, and the results were surprising to me. One product actually made my dash hotter. So let's get into the numbers. To baseline things, it's a little after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're around 92 degrees. I've had the car sitting out in the driveway all morning. Let's take a look at what our starting temperatures are. Let's take a reading on the outside of the car itself. Here on the driver's side, we're a little over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Moving on to the inside, let's check now what the dash temperature is. Whoa, 163.6. That's pretty toasty. Not optimal. Next up, I'm gonna take the vehicle drive around with the AC on, get it cooled down. Then we'll try again with some of the things that I've purchased to see if we can keep the dash a bit cooler. One of the first things I'm going to try is something we're likely all familiar with, is a sunshade for the windshield. The reason I chose this one particularly is it claims to be sized specifically for my Canyon. Most importantly, there were some claims made on the website in terms of how far down you should be able to expect the sunshade to offset the outside temperature. Because of course, the less heat we have hitting directly and warming up the car, the better. So I ran some errands in the car with the AC on full blast and then parked in the shade for a bit to try to cool things off. Let's see what our new starting point is here. So even just this brief time with the sun, we're already up to 112 on the dash. Let's, just as a point of comparison, I want to take it around to the outside. So measuring the outside of the vehicle, that's around 143 Fahrenheit outside. So we're starting somewhere around 30 degrees less. The brand of the sunscreen we're going to try here, or the sunshade rather, is called EcoNour. Let me get it set up. Now, one thing I question in the foldable style is that the actual padded insulated pieces are really going to be two separate, and then there is going to be gaps that do have a reflective nylon-y plastic piece that I doubt that's going to provide the same level of heat protection as the rest of it. But let's let this sit here for a while and see what kind of results we get. The truck's been baking in the sun for close to an hour now. Around 140 we'll call it. Let's hop inside. Last reading was 131, but this read as high as 146. A little closer to the center here, 121. And we'll try over here on the far side. And that's 127.5 to 128. Not exactly what I was hoping for. So I pulled the good old-fashioned, I would call it sort of a foil-looking shade out of my wife's car. Has a blue kind of almost looks like a bubble wrap liner on the inside. And as we roll to the outside, we have a more reflective surface. Let's give that some time and see if that ultimately lowers the temperature. Close to 45 minutes later, the sun is starting to go down a little bit, so outside temperature on the vehicle now is down to about 130, 131. Let's see what we have on the inside. 105 there, and 101 over here. 102 we'll call that. So I would say results are somewhat better with this old school type of sunshade. So back to the drawing board in terms of what I find to meet this solution. I'll probably continue using this in the meantime. The next piece I'm going to put in is a bit controversial in my own mind. Because this is a new truck, I tend to associate this type of item with something in an older truck where there's already a cracked dash. So what is it I'm talking about? It's this dash mat that I'm going to put in place. I'm suspecting this is going to keep the underlying dash a bit cooler, and definitely it's going to protect it from the UV rays of the sun. So let me get this installed. The dash mat is installed. Really simple in this case. It comes with a bottom surface that's have a bit of a rubberized grip to it, so it should stay in place on its own. I'm going to start this way because I'm not sure long term whether I'm going to keep this or not. The fit's not terrible. It does help in terms of reflections that I would normally see on the windshield. Let's leave it overnight. We'll give it some morning to midday sun, and we'll do some tests. Day 2, close to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The car's been sitting out in the sun for a while. Let's see what things look like temperature-wise. Reading off the side of the vehicle, we're in that 110 Fahrenheit neighborhood again. Shooting on the top of the mat itself, we're around 147. Let's see if it makes a difference underneath. Ah, very strange. Actually, that temperature is worse than the reading on top of the mat. So here's where this landed. The highly rated sunshade didn't come close to the promised numbers. In fact, it was actually a fraction of those numbers. While the old shade, with no reviews, no big brand name, just beat it outright. And the dash mat, the thing that's actually supposed to protect your dash, actually made it hotter than it was before. Thinking back on it, this could make total sense. You're putting a dark piece of carpet on top of the plastic, so it's actually going to insulate and hold in heat that makes its way into the dash. It probably would protect from UV over the long run, and it definitely helps reduce some of the reflections, but it's really going to be a trade-off in terms of the aesthetics of having that piece of carpet on your dash versus the nice clean dash as GMC intended. The conclusion for me is that if you're serious about protecting your dash, don't go on the star ratings alone. Actually test these things out for yourself and make sure that they're delivering on the promise. Drop a comment down below if you've seen the same results with your own setup. And if this saved you from buying the wrong shade or dash mat, please give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it.